Entry-level hiring at the Big Four and major tech firms just collapsed 41% since ChatGPT launched. CEO pay at those same companies, record highs in 2024. This isn't a recession. This is an extinction event for the first rung of the career ladder. And the class of 2026 is walking straight into it with $200,000 in debt. Here's the canary in the coal mine. Youth unemployment, that's workers 15 to 24, has historically tracked overall unemployment. When the economy hurts, everyone hurts together. That correlation just broke. Across the G7, youth unemployment is climbing while general unemployment stays flat or falls. In the UK, youth joblessness sits near 14%, while the overall rate is half that. In France, it's pushing 18%. In Canada, it's spiking. The economy isn't sick, it's just done hiring beginners. AI doesn't need a junior analyst to summarize a report. It doesn't need a paralegal to review contracts. It doesn't need a junior coder to write boilerplate. Those jobs were the first 3 rungs of every white-collar career. They're gone. And the data shows this isn't a blip. The decoupling started in 2022 and has only accelerated. Now, here's the obvious counter-argument. Just get more education. The degree always pays off. That was true for 40 years. It's not true anymore. For 2 decades, advanced economies told an entire generation the same lie. Go to college, take the loans, and the knowledge economy will reward you. So they did. Tertiary enrollment in South Korea hit 102%. Australia, 130%. The US doubled it. We flooded the market with credentialed workers for a knowledge economy that just got automated. And look what happened to unemployment among workers with advanced degrees. It's rising in almost every country on this list. The degree premium isn't just shrinking. Educated workers are now uniquely exposed because the tasks AI does best are exactly the tasks they were trained to do. Coding, writing, analysis, research. The blue-collar plumber is safer than the Stanford grad. If you still think a degree protects you, look at this. Unemployment among workers with advanced education, the people we were told would be untouchable, is climbing across the developed world. In the US, it's nearly doubled from its pre-pandemic floor. In France and the UK, advanced degree unemployment is at multi-decade highs. This is the metric that matters, because for 50 years it was the bottom line of the social contract. Get the degree, you stay employed. That contract just expired. The jobs that demanded a 4-year credential, junior consultant, research analyst, associate copywriter, entry-level developer, are exactly the jobs an LLM can do for $20 a month. The premium is gone. The protection is gone. Here's where it gets dystopian. The economy is fine. GDP growth in the US, Canada, and Australia has been solid post-pandemic. Corporate profits hit record highs in 2024. Productivity is surging. So why aren't the jobs there? Because for the first time in modern economic history, growth and employment have decoupled at the entry level. CEOs aren't hiding it. Klarna fired 700 customer service workers and replaced them with AI. IBM paused hiring on 7,800 roles it expects to automate. Google, Meta, and Amazon all cut entry-level engineering by double digits while spending hundreds of billions on AI infrastructure. The economy doesn't need humans to grow anymore. That's the productivity miracle Silicon Valley promised. They just forgot to mention who pays the price. Now, look who's most exposed. The countries that built their economies on services, finance, consulting, tech, media, law, are sitting on the biggest target. Services account for over 80% of GDP in the US, UK, and France, roughly 70% in Germany, Japan, and Korea. Those service jobs are overwhelmingly white-collar, and white-collar tasks are exactly what generative AI eats first. McKinsey's own research, Yes, the same McKinsey that's slashing its own analyst class estimates 30% of work hours in advanced economies can be automated by 2030. The countries that won the last 40 years of globalization by moving up the value chain into knowledge work are now the most exposed economies on Earth. Manufacturing economies have a buffer. Service economies don't. Put it all together. Youth unemployment is decoupling from the overall economy. College enrollment is at record highs in countries where degree holders are now uniquely unemployed. GDP keeps growing while entry-level hiring collapses, and the most exposed economies are the ones that bet everything on services. This is not a cycle. Cycles don't sever the relationship between growth and jobs. Cycles don't make degrees riskier than trades. What we're watching is a structural reset of the labor market. The bottom of the career ladder is being permanently removed, not temporarily withdrawn. The class of 2026 will be the first cohort in modern history to graduate into an economy that genuinely does not need them at the price they were trained to demand. Here's the verdict. The college degree, as a financial instrument, is now the worst major bet of the 21st century, not because education is worthless, but because the specific deal we sold an entire generation, 4 years and 6 figures of debt for a guaranteed seat at the white-collar table, is broken. AI didn't take your job. It took the first rung of the ladder before you could reach it. And every government, every university, and every corporation pretending this is a temporary adjustment is lying to you. Because the data shows it started 2 years ago, and it's accelerating. The class of 2026 isn't entering a tough job market. They're entering a different economy entirely. The honest advice now, learn to use the machine, learn a trade the machine can't touch, or build something the machine can't replicate. The middle path, the safe corporate ladder, is gone. If you want the unfiltered data on what's actually happening to the economy, not the narrative, the numbers, subscribe. No takes, no vibes, just charts that tell you what your boss already knows.